Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making music in Garageband, and what we're going to do over the next few videos is do different genres in Garageband. So I'm not going to teach you how to use Garageband, so I'm going to presume that you've got a very basic idea of how to use it. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube. We're going to be concentrating mainly on making some easy music that anybody can sort of start with, and then they can work on for their own video game, or if they want to start making music for other people's video games. Okay, so today what we're going to do is start with EDM, and in GarageBand we have a really easy option that is called Drummer, just to get the basics up. So this is Drummer. If we play it, you'll hear that's not an EDM sort of style. So what we've got down the side here is electronic music, and we'll click on the first one and see what it sounds like. That's going to be fine for the example of making EDM game music. So let's see what we've got here. We've got the loop at the top, and we're going to set it to the 8 bars. And now we're going to think, right, what do we first need? And I would say a bass is always going to be a good starting point. So let us look at bass. So in the categories up here we have bass, but we're not going to use these because these are live basses. We want to go down to synthesizer and then choose an EDM bass. So let's just have a listen to a couple and see what we've got. Okay. Not bad. Something a little bit more normal, so modern synth bass. Let's have a listen to that. Okay, let's have a listen to that. Okay, so I made a little mistake there, but now we're going to play it in. This is one bad thing about GarageBand. I could have just got that back in Logic, but in GarageBand we have to actually record everything in. In Logic you can click capture record, and that will bring back what you just played. But we're going to play that in now. We know what we're doing. We don't need to play it twice because we know we're going to do the same thing. So let's just listen to that. I noticed there's a delay on the bass. You can hear that when I change notes, it doesn't sound great. So what we should be able to do here is turn the delay right down under the control section. If you're not seeing this, this is just up here. So this is your control section. Down the bottom, you can see that I have the keyboard, so you can follow along. If you want to play what I'm playing, it's just literally A, C, A, D. And I'm playing on the offbeat. So that means that you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you're playing on the and. And then if we want to copy this, I'm going to do it properly. Hold Alt and copy. You can also use this loop to do it, but it makes things a bit of a pain later on. So I prefer to just do it the old-fashioned, hold the Alt key and copy. Okay, so that's our intro. Let us move on, and we'll copy and paste the whole thing. And what we're going to do now is add in a new instrument. I would probably put more instruments there, but I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. Let's add a new instrument. So that plus button adds a new instrument, and we're going to choose software instrument. And here we have, let's choose an arpeggiator. So this is quite an easy way of just getting a musical element underneath it. So let's have a listen to that. It's a bit over the top. Let's try another one. That's not quite enough. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll lay it down. So all I'm playing here is just A minor, and then adding a D instead of the C. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. Sort of works, doesn't it? It's not terrible, that's for sure. Now let's see if this loops properly. Okay, and you can see what I just did down here. We have this transform pad. Again, it's this control if you need to bring this up. In Garageband, it makes it nice and easy. It brings up the most relevant control, but you can also access things like the EQ here and whatever other controls you have with the preset you're on. Okay, so here, what I'm going to do now is play around with this a little bit. And what we can do is just literally hit record and have a play around. Gives you an idea of what you can do with that. It's quite powerful. And you can see that it's moving just as I did it. I would say that part is slightly too loud, and this is your volume, so you can just turn it down there. Now let's start from the beginning and think, what else can we add to this? So instantly there, you could add a bit more interest just by, what we're going to do is split this at playhead. So I've just held the control button down to get that little menu up. And then what I'm going to do is look at these two parts, go, that was fine there. And here, if you double click on it, you can make this slightly more interesting by adding a new instrument here. And here I'm going to add a shaker in. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's keep that shaker in for this next part. Cool. And what we're going to do is copy and paste these. I'm not going to have the arpeggiator because that's kind of quite a thick instrument. So we're going to now bring in a new instrument and take that one out. And here I'm going to take out that shaker and add a new instrument. Okie dokie. So let's think of something like a lead line. So we're going to add a melody to this. And let's have a look at some of these leads. And I don't know any of these patches that well. I don't really use GarageBand. I use Logic mainly, but they're very, very similar. So the good thing is that once you're comfortable with GarageBand, you can always upgrade to Logic at a later time. Okay, let's have a little go through these. So. Okay, something like that. So. I like that, so let's put that down. And again, you can see the notes I'm playing down the bottom, but we're just holding A on every single time I'm playing that, and then just moving from C to E to D to F. And in terms of like playing rhythms like that, just listen to the music. What I do is listen to a reference track before I start playing if I don't know that genre very well, and just see what sort of rhythms they use in it. I'll use that loop function here. Might turn it down just a fraction. And again, what I'm going to do here is split this. So then we can add a bit more intensity the second time round, simply by adding another layer. When we get to more advanced tutorials, we will program drums and do things. So I'm going to add in a ride cymbal and a shaker there and see what that sounds like. Cool. Okay, so we've got a basic sort of, what's that? How long is that now? So we've already got, let's just turn that to beats and time so you can see. So we've already got 44 seconds of music there, which for some games might be enough just to loop round. But what we will do now is, let's do this twice just so we can then play with another line on top of it. And yeah, let's see what we shall add. So let's see what instruments we've got. Again, I'm no expert with the sounds here, but I would have thought now adding in a pad maybe. So a pad will fill out the sound. So we can just have, let's see, no, I haven't actually clicked on one yet. It just fills out the sound a little bit, so let's just add that in. So now I was going to remember what I just did. So I went these two notes here, you can see down the bottom, E and A, and then E and F, E and A, and then just A and A at the end. Every 2 bars moving. See, I made a mistake there, so that's a perfect time for us just to edit that mistake. So I'm going to hit quantize, so the Q button on the keyboard, and that will quantize the track, and then we can hear what I've done. So you can see there I've come in early on that note, so I'm just going to move that back, and then extend this over, extend this over. So they're all just coming in on the Okay, we can hear that that is where I made my big mistake and added an extra note. Cool. That gives you a little bit of a texture to that section. And then we can move into another section. So we could then either break it down or build it up. So in fact, let's just try making a new bass line there. So what I'm going to do is copy the drums over. Let's just copy them over and just, so we just got something to write to. Okay, just something to write to, and you can see I'm just going from A to G to F to G. And you can see that I've extended the F just to be a couple more beats longer, and then only 2 on the G at the end. Okay, so we've got something there. So I'm just going to follow that pattern there. So what we've got is the full chord. It's worth learning your chords, but essentially all we're doing is playing A minor, G, F, and G again. But I'm going to be playing it in the second inversion. So the top note, the E, is going to be on the bottom, and that's going to follow all the way down. So let's just record that in. Okay, and then we can copy and paste that. So we have. That sounds fine. So what I'm going to do now is double that up with an arpeggiator. So let's see what arpeggiator we have. So I've just copied and pasted it to a new track. We're going to go to arpeggiator. Let's go, no, basics, and let's just have a listen to what we've got here. Let's have a listen to night. Oh, that's quite nice. Okay, so we've got a bit of movement there. And then I'm just going to, for today, show you, oh, I don't need to save at the moment. I'm just going to show you how to put another melody on top of that. So I always play things in. You can draw notes in, but that's not much fun. So I won't be doing that. Also with Garageband, just so I show you, you do have a musical typing keyboard, which you can see down the bottom here, and you can literally play the notes on your physical keyboard, which is not ideal, but it does work. I'm going to flip that back to normal keyboard. Right, let's have a go with a synthesizer. So synthesizer, let's try another lead out and see what we get. Something like that. I'm not sure about the sounds. Okay, and you can watch what I'm doing with melody. Again, the way to learn melodies is the same with most things. Just listen to lots of music and play along with it, and sort of get it stuck in your head. I grew up with a lot of computer games in the 90s, so that's how old I am, and they've kind of been ingrained into my brain to play those sort of melodies, so just listen to lots. Let's give that a go anyway. Okay, something like that will do for the time being. You can always refine your lines later on, but it's always good to get an idea of what you want down. And there, I can hear that one of those notes is a bit quieter than the others, so I'm going to turn this up. In GarageBand, you do it over here. Again, not quite loud enough, so let's try that. See that I made a mistake there, so we'll just take that out. And just to finish off this video, what I'm going to do is copy and paste this again, and then just to show you how to get a bit of variation with great ease, you can just literally double up this synthesizer here with something else. Let us try another synth and see what that sounds like. So cracklingly, let's see what that sounds like. Instantly, I think that sounds a bit high. So what I'm going to do is double it up, move this all down an octave. So we can see that this first note is on C4, and I'm going to highlight everything with not Control A, we're not in Windows, with Apple A, and we're going to then be able to drag all the notes together down to C3. Let's try a few presets out now. Excellent. Okay, so now what we will do is listen to our masterpiece. Maybe not my best piece of music ever, but it's not bad for just messing around. And this is what you can do in GarageBand. You can make something very, very easy. I'm just going to make a bit more intensity here this second time round, add those instruments in. And in fact, let's just move this slider to make things more complicated and add some more fills right at the end. Ooh, what's that done to the fills there? Okay, that will do. And let's have a listen to our piece from beginning. And thank you for watching. I'll be doing more videos on GarageBand, so stay tuned, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.